Hi everybody, welcome to Tomato Junkie's Kitchen, also known as Sarah's Kitchen. Really the purpose of this video is to find out what it is that you all want me to video blog on. Especially with anything with regard to Thanksgiving, preparation for that type of thing. What do you really need help with? And I want to be helpful to you in what I have learned over the years, and I've cooked many Thanksgiving dinners, so I just wanted to share that with you. Also ask you to share my potato salad video, and really it didn't get as many views as I was hoping for, and mainly I want people to have the recipe because it's so easy. And please let me know if you've made it and what you think of it. And I'm really looking for feedback on just about anything. The video quality, just anything that you can give me feedback on. I really haven't gotten much so far, so I'd really appreciate it. In the comments, I'm going to put a photo of my spice rack. I think I mentioned to all of you the fact that I buy Penzeys spices, and I believe it is a St. Louis-based company, but you can order off their website. And they have great quality spices. One of my good friends, Jeremy, he's another foodie, and he clued me in on that. And since then, I've just gone nuts with it. And I got so many that I had to have an alternative storage solution. So I finally found a couple of these racks that I put on the inside of my pantry door, and they've worked really well, although they don't even hold all of them. So when you look at this, and you think, okay, that's out of control. Oh, there's more than what I'm showing you there, because I've got some in one of my cabinets. But anyway, I did want to mention that about a previous video when I talked about tomatoes and the San Marzano tomatoes, and I couldn't find them in the store anymore, and then all of a sudden, Costco stopped selling them, which I'm still in kind of shock about that. But I did see them today in Dierberg's, which in the St. Louis area is a very well-stocked grocery store. It was $4.69 for a 28-ounce can, which is, that's expensive, I think. So yeah, you can get them here in the St. Louis area. And, some of you probably have greater access to it. And I haven't been to Trader Joe's yet to be able to see if they have them at a much more reasonable price. Hopefully they do. A couple of things that I wanted to mention about Thanksgiving prep. And, you peel potatoes. Most of you probably cook sweet potatoes, that kind of thing. And these tools have really changed my life. These are peelers, and I've got a couple of them. I think one of them I got as a freebie on something else that I ordered. But when you look at the standard peeler, these things are in a different galaxy. They're so sharp. They make peeling so easy. I peeled a bunch of sweet potatoes last night, and I think those are pretty hard to peel. I peeled a bunch of those last night like lickety-split. So I would encourage you to look for this style of peeler. Now there are some out there that don't have this padded part right here. It just has metal. Try to avoid those because I think those are a little bit harder to hold on to. This one is easy to hold on to, and you can hold that potato or whatever it is that you're peeling and go crazy with it. It really works well. I've peeled butternut squash with them, and I'm sure you all know that if you've ever peeled one of those before, those are hard to peel. So it just, it works great. So anyway, excuse me. That and another thing I wanted to talk about was, and this is especially relevant being as Thanksgiving is coming up, these cartons of chicken broth, beef broth, vegetable broth, whatever, I see those and I always think they're too expensive and they take up too much space. What I have used for many years is Soup Base. Now this is one really good brand. It's called Better Than Bouillon. This one is available at Costco, but it's available at just about any grocery store. That's the chicken flavor. This is the beef flavor. And even if you look online, you can find the lobster flavor. And they've got a commercial out now where they're advertising all different kinds of flavors that they have. This stuff is great for making soups. You can use it to flavor vegetables, just all different kinds of things. Like in the summer, if you want to grill vegetables in a foil packet on your grill, you know, you can put a little bit of this and some butter in there, and it really flavors the vegetables nicely. So they're a very versatile thing to have in your pantry, and they're very economical. That really large jar that I just showed you, I believe at Costco is $5 something. And then, I mean, it's a little bit more expensive at the grocery stores, but you know, you can find it in various places. Now, one thing I also use is this powdered stuff by Knorr, and it's tomato bouillon with chicken flavor. I use it sometimes in various things, but I want to warn you, it is very salty. So if you decide to get it, just be sure that you're careful with the salting and that kind of thing. And I haven't seen a reduced sodium version of it. Anytime you can get a reduced sodium version of a broth, a soup base, whatever, you need to do that, because, and also look at the ingredient list. If the first ingredient is salt, don't buy it. I mean, that is not something that's going to be adding the flavor that you want to add, so don't buy it. Be sure that you're looking for stuff where the first ingredient should be chicken, beef, etc. So anyway, just a couple of things about that. And then I also wanted to ask if everybody was interested in pie crust. I haven't gotten any real feedback on that. Some of the bloggers that I watch have been doing pie crust, and being opinionated about food as I am, I kind of disagree with how some of them are doing it. And, you know, generally with pie crust, you have to make it cold, cook it hot. That's really, that's the general way to make a classic pastry. And the more you touch it or the more you manipulate it, the more likely it is to be tough. So if any of you want to know how to do that, if you don't want to buy the ready-made, let me know and I can do a video on that. The other thing is about Thanksgiving dishes. I'd really like to know what you all make that are standards. If you leave it in the comments, what are standards in your family that you always make? For us, my parents grew up in the South, and so it was never stuffing, it was always dressing, and it was always cornbread based. It probably had some bread in it, maybe leftover biscuits or something like that, but it was always cornbread based. And it was more like a custard or a pudding, if you will, in that it had eggs in it. So our version is, I think, a little bit different than what most people make. So it was always turkey, mashed potatoes and gravy, the dressing. We always had cranberries, and then usually several other vegetables. I have a thing that I call cranberry crack that I make for my family, and it's made with fresh cranberries, and as the holiday gets closer, I'll share that with you, but that's not an original recipe of mine, it's someone else's, but we really love it. It's good stuff. And then the other thing is mashed potatoes. If any of you have questions about how to make mashed potatoes properly, I can show you that as well. The very best way to make the very best mashed potatoes, of course, other than cooking them yourself, is to use a ricer. And if you're not familiar with that tool, I can show you that as well. I was a teenager before I even knew what instant potatoes were. I didn't know they existed because my mom was a scratch cook. She made everything from scratch. And I mean, I was at a friend's house, and I think her mom cooked instant potatoes, and I was like, oh, what is that? I mean, I just didn't know what it was. I have never used those. And I think you can actually probably make them taste pretty good, you know, if you season them properly. But I just find that cooking potatoes is, for me, it's just as easy. And my family loves them. To me, they're a comfort food, that kind of thing. So I think I covered everything that I wanted to for this video. And again, please give me some feedback. Let me know what I can help you with for Thanksgiving, because obviously I love cooking. I want to help you with anything that, you know, you've struggled with over the years to do well for your Thanksgiving meal and that kind of thing. So anyway, let me know, and I appreciate any time you share my videos, you know, branch them out to your friends that you think might be helped by what I have. I really appreciate that. So that's it for tonight, and I will see you soon.